Dear little bit of good where you are, it's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world. Don't raise your voice, improve your argument. We may be surprised at the people we find in heaven. God has a soft spot for sinners. His standards are quite low. Differences are not intended to separate, to alienate. We are different precisely in order to realize our need of one another. We learn from history that we don't learn from history. There comes a point where we need to stop just pulling people out of the river. We need to go upstream and find out why they're falling in. If you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Like when you sit in front of a fire in winter, you are just there in front of the fire. You don't have to be smart or anything. The fire warms you. Language is very powerful. Language does not just describe reality. Language creates the reality it describes. Religion is like a knife. You can either use it to cut bread or stick in someone's back. We are made for loving. If we don't love, we will be like plants without water. It is through weakness and vulnerability that most of us learn empathy and compassion and discover our soul. You don't choose your family. They are God's gift to you, as you are to them. Dear child of God, I am sorry to say that suffering is not optional. A person is a person through other persons. You can't be human in isolation. You are human only in relationships. We must be ready to learn from one another, not claiming that we alone possess all truth, and that somehow we have a corner on God. There is nothing more difficult than waking someone who is only pretending to be asleep. Be nice to whites. They need you to rediscover their humanity. We are fragile creatures, and it is from this weakness, not despite it, that we discover the possibility of true joy. Though wrong gratifies in the moment, good yields its gifts over a lifetime. You show your humanity by how you see yourself not as apart from others, but from your connection to others. I wish I could shut up, but I can't, and I won't. Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. To protect our children, we must talk to them about rape. To be neutral in a situation of injustice is to have chosen sides already. It is to support the status quo. There is a certain kind of dignity we admire and to which we aspire in the person who refuses to meet anger with anger, violence with violence, or hatred with hatred. Life is more than breath and a heartbeat. Meaning and purpose are the life of life. When your dreams turn to dust, vacuum. One of the most blasphemous consequences of injustice, especially racist injustice, is that it can make a child of God doubt that he or she is a child of God. This is what healing demands: behavior that is hurtful, shameful, abusive, or demeaning must be brought into the fierce light of truth, and truth can be brutal. People are not born hating each other and wishing to cause harm. It is a learned condition. In order to truly forgive oneself, one must either explicitly or implicitly acknowledge that one's behavior was wrong and accept responsibility or blame for such behavior. We are always at our best when compassion enables us to recognize the unique pressures and singular stories of the people on the other side of our conflicts. Renewing a relationship is a creative act. We make a new relationship. It is possible to build a new relationship, regardless of the realities of the old relationship. My humanity is bound up in yours, for we can only be human together. To forgive is not just to be altruistic. I would like to share with you two simple truths. There is nothing that cannot be forgiven, and there is no one undeserving of forgiveness. There is something in us that refuses to be regarded as less than human. We are created for freedom. To treat anyone as if they were less than human, less than a brother or a sister, no matter what they have done, is to contravene the very laws of our humanity. It is true that when we harm others, we harm ourselves, but it is just as true that when we help others, we also help ourselves. God is not a diversion. Healing means that our dignity is restored, and we are able to move forward in our lives. The way to understand any enemy is to realize that, from his perspective, he is not a villain but a hero. We shall be free only together, black and white. We shall survive only together, black and white. We can be human only together, black and white. But just as we do not forgive for others, we also do not forgive for God. I think it was a communication of the heart. When we kept quiet, our hearts discovered that they were kindred spirits.